Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Abdiel from CZT Jacki Rose. All right, this is a grid tangle. And it's, one of the, could be a high contrast because we end up with a lot of spaces. That's not the pen I want. That we can decorate. Now, first off, I'm going to do one box because you know what? If you've seen the other grid patterns where I do this, let me know in the comments. Just a quick survey. If this helps more to do it in a just one individual first. I kind of think it does. I don't know. It kind of helps me because then I can see it a little bit better versus me having it, get the eyeball confusion thing going. So let me know. All right. So I'm going to do this one that way anyway, though, since we're not live. I'm live at the moment, but you know what I mean. All right, so this one, we're going to put one big V, which consists of two straight lines, because I do like to talk Zentangle-ese, and those are one of our elemental strokes. Oh, my goodness. All right, and so we're going to start at the bottom of, wherever you want however you want to configure this. It's going to go in the center, but then, to the other corners. I was finding it almost easier to place the center first and go out. And of course, whatever works best for you, do it. Then we're going to aura this essentially. I think everything in this, we're going to do a stroke and then we're going to aura it. And like that. Okay. Then the next step, here's where I highly recommend taking a look at the For More Inspiration link so you can see Jackie step out and samples and Linda Farmer's her little thumbnail pattern. That's the little box that you first see when you open it up. Sometimes it's an ad, but the first box, because she does some really neat things too, and it's just like in addition to what you see later. So I like that. And in her box, because she filled in a lot, it's pretty high contrast. So, all right. And the reason I want you to take a look at that, and you don't have to do it right now, but afterwards, because in this stroke, you could you could position it a little bit differently and get a little different result, just like anything. What I was seeing here, because I was trying to determine, am I seeing a curved line or an S, it could be kind of an S shape also. And in my version of the step outs, it kind of looks like both. Never mind. All right, let's just do a curve line because that's easy. And again, in the middle, like that. And then like that. And this one, so I'm starting, I call it the bottom, but we're going to aura it. Let me think, how do I want to say this? So we want to have these two pieces, these two lines touching. So we're going to tangle on the outside of it like this. Sometimes I should just shut up and just show you. I like to have words sometimes, though. So like that, where here, we started here, that way it keeps, these things open because we're going to put this in a grid, and that's why. All right, next, from these lines, and then here too, I'm going to do this a little differently than I did in my step out. Well, yeah, maybe I'm going to do end up a little closer to this V, and I'm going to start with the inner one. And just a nice, curve line. Well, okay, there we go, like that. And then aura it. Like so. And see, this is where, you can... We try not to do planning right, in Zentangle. But sometimes when you do things like this, you can just think, oh, well, I'm going to do it this way. Or if you do a little bit more of an S shape, like right now, it's curving, the way it's curving, it goes more straight, and then you have to, go down, versus if you do more of an S shape, it's kind of already pointing down, and you can end up with a little different shape. Anyway, let's do this other side. And I'm turning so I can see things easy. And let's see if I can match that one. Oh, pretty good. And then, okay. This, sometimes C shapes, I get to debate whether I want to have my hand use its natural curve or see the line that I'm auraing. All right. This, yes, that's all the steps. That is it. Okay? Now, let's do it in a grid. And I will make a 4 square. Wow. All right. That's a line. Okay, and I said a 4 square. And another thing to take a look at in Jacki's step out, scroll down, and so that way you can see her sample, because she does it looks like in a 16 grid, so that way you can see what it looks like, in multiple directions. And I think I'm gonna, okay, I did it one way in my step out, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it this way. So starting with this grid or box, and I'm going to do the top the same, and then the bottom I'm going to flip. Nice sort of straight line. All right, and I'm going to complete these two and then move to the bottom. That's kind of how I like to. It depends on the tangle, but for this one, that's what I'm going to do. So that way we don't get confused. All right. Then, right, it was here. And then I turn it up the way that I had done it on the step out. Okay, let's try a little bit more of a S shape here. Like that. Well, oops. And I did like doing both and then coming back, both sides, and then coming back and auraing. Oh, let's just do all of one. See, and then here, because you see the direction it's aiming, so we can, oh, I have to do the inside still. Oh, good. There's enough room. This is why. This is not a perfect halabow, because usually when I like to do halabow, I like to make sure where it's a continuous line. And you know what? You could do that. Oh, let's try. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, let's just try it. Oh, it might hurt my brain too much. Let's see. So if you did this, then come down. That's the inside. So you can here. And there's whatever works for you. Almost forgot. It's a nice experiment. And it really it goes to something that I maybe or maybe not. It kind of goes to what I have said about having, when we're hollowbowing something, to do a continuous thought. So like this is the overall stroke, so it's best to do that. But I have some inconsistencies. It's okay. It's all good. All right. Now, we're done with that. So, let's do here. And as I said, I'm going to do opposite. So, mirroring it. And nice thing here is that we already have where we need to meet these things up with is already there. So just kind of going slow and watching what we're doing. Apparently I'm going to do one box at a time. All right, and then this, I'm going to do it the first way I did it. And here, I was doing the inside first. It's one of those where you just kind of have to think. Because like I wanted to make sure to place it close to the V this time, to the bottom here. And in order to do that, it's like, okay, we'll do the inside first. And that's like, okay, well, that makes sense. As long as the pen cooperates, then we're good. Like that, yeah. And well, and I'll show it. I'll slide my version of the step out underneath the camera here in a second, so you can see the other way. Sometimes I like to pre-do these, but today I decided no, let's do this here. I have read comments, and I appreciate your comments. That sometimes, you wish you would have longer time. Well, you can have longer time. Come and join me free online on Thursdays for our Tangle time. Or you can watch a replay. I am working to get my backlog posted. All right, there we go. Okay. So now look at all of these cool spaces that we have to do something with. And let me, no, I'll wait till after I do it because I've already decorated the other one. Okay, so then the question is, what do you want to do with it? That is a good question. Let's see. Well, we have all kinds of choices. Oh. No, wait a minute. Oh! Linda added something to hers. I'm like, where did that little half moon, that little... Interesting. Okay. That is... Wait, or did she or didn't she? Yeah, wait. I think she did. Yeah, interesting. Because it looks like she filled in these sections, and so she added a little, what looks like a crescent moon here, so just a little curve line, and and filled in the inside, and that is something that can do that, or and if it's something where if you want to disguise these grid lines, and let's, just because I'm feeling the need to do that right here, and because it's a nice little small section. If you just aura those lines on either side, you can see how it disguises it. I mean, and it's only one portion, but and could do these. Sometimes, it just depends on the tangle. I have done where I have some lines going this way and some lines going the other way. But then I just kind of would have to do both sides of this, which, totally doable. Maybe we should do that. Okay, let's do it. And it's one of those things, if you end up not liking it, let's have all the lines go, yes, right to the end. If you end up not liking it, you can always fill it in. If you don't like lines going one direction, it kind of looks like a box, sort of, doesn't it? Another idea is, because I've done this before, it's like, gosh, I don't really like the way, it looks where you have them going two different directions. So you just, you make little boxes. It's like there's a tangle called cheesecloth, and except that's based on wiggly lines similar to this. But but you could just go both directions and you end up with a neat little kind of grid pattern. Completely up to you. Or I could go back and fill those guys in. So many options. So many options. It's a cool thing. All right. And I kind of like it. Sometimes it's not the first thing on my mind when tangling is the tangling, not necessarily the decorating part. And so actually doing these videos has helped me to maybe think a little bit quicker. Left to my own devices, as those that are on my Tangle Time calls. Oh, the last few was I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sit and watch what Mom does. And it's fun. Okay. Now, so some of me is thinking, well, what and how do I want to do what? I'm really thinking, well, I could do a combination of what I did. I was really thinking orbs, but oh, what the heck. I can pause so you don't have to be tortured. Although you already are being tortured by my indecisions. I don't know, I was just feeling like this is what we need to do. Well, while I do this, and also just to point out one thing, when you're doing something like these lines, like these orbs, and you're doing a lot of fill-in, every once in a while, just take a little hand stretch break. Make sure to breathe, and maybe depending on how long you're tangling, take a minute and look up, look at something far away, focus your eyeballs on it, and then come back. That way, you don't end up with crossed eyes and hand cramps and all of that kind of thing. And if you are enjoying this, you could take a hand stretch right now and click the like button. I so appreciate it when you click the like. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, would love to have you be a subscriber. So you can just click those couple things. I really like this. I'm so glad that y'all talked me into doing this. All right, and then in the description section, so I'll get rid of this this stuff, and then before the end. So in the description section, I mentioned the step outs, so you'll see those links to those, because I always do my own version and then link to the creator of the Tangle. Below those is my Linktree link, and there is links to everything else. It's a really, really neat, I don't know if you call it a program. It's not really a program, a website where you can set up your own. So if you have, if you have a lot of links to you, I think it's just a really neat idea. And they have. I'm just using the free version, which is, I always think it's so nice when websites do that. And it's, of course, it's like, well, yeah, sure, try it for free, and then if it comes down, if I think it's a good idea to pay for some of their upgraded services, great. But it's just a really, really neat program. So you'll find my website, and while I'm talking, I do need to fill in these little gaps. So you can follow my blog on my website, and the posts that I've been doing lately, there's a daily tangle, which is what this is, and then I will post the recaps to my classes. So and those are just it's a link that has our screenshots and links to the step outs, and if the Quickie video, and just kind of like all of the resources and stuff for whatever tangle we decided to do, or whatever work we decided to do. Because even for my paid classes, and just by the way, with the gaps filled in, without the gaps filled in, it's just really neat sometimes to just look at the difference. Although granted, it's a little bit sloppy, but But anyway, so that just so you know what to expect. You might get 2 in a day, but that seems like that's been the max. I don't think I've done, maybe on some weird occasion I did 3 for some reason, but not usually. Just so you know. Also, if you happen to be on Facebook, there's a link to my page, as well as our Tangle Addicts community group. And so if you would like to be a part of that group and join in the fun that we have there, and boy do we do, and they're also just a wonderful group of people, so supportive, and just, like I said, a lot of fun. You can click that link. Know that there are 4 questions that you have to answer to gain entry into the group. It just kind of helps me weed out. I tell you, on the rare occasion that somebody misses one, and there's one, just, it seems a little redundant, but at the same time, I'm like, well, apparently it's a good filter, because I let somebody just come in. I was like, going, oh, okay, I'll just, I feel bad when I click no, but it makes sense, because it just kind of avoids us having people that like to spam. So, all right, I think that looks rather neat. Something else here. So we'll do some shading where things go under. Oop. Well, those just kind of connect there, so I don't think I'm going to put graphite there. Oops, there. Oops, there, I did it. That's right, you can just barely see it. All right, and then carefully, as to not, and I'm doing the sides where I can put my the Tortillion on, on the graphite, and kind of move it in a downward motion for the most part. So I'm not doing this. I try to avoid that, because usually whenever I do it, it ends up in graphite going places I don't want it to go. All right. And it is like, they're like right there. It's one of those things. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's just like one of those, here's the thought. I did it again, but it's okay. The thing about we'll call them rules, for lack of a better term, suggestions, is that yeah, you can break them. That's why I always like to explain the why, because there's a why behind everything, and if we know the why, then we can feel free to break them. Well, I kind of like this. I was feeling like maybe I need to do something else, but I don't know what. The only thing I can think is maybe to put some graphite on this one side. Oh, sure, yeah. Could, although my orbs are kind of small. Well, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this on this side too. It doesn't matter. We do not worry about light source unless you're trying to do something specific. I just feel like that the big white section just needed something. Yeah. I say yeah because I'm looking at the screen versus looking directly at my tile. Oh, I like it. It kind of is Art Deco-y, I think. I don't know. It's really cool. All right, starting here, going to here. I think I might decorate that a little later. It's a neat tangle. And so, again, oh, here, let me slide this underneath so you can see. So I did it the opposite way. Oh, here, let's just do this. So having the points of the V meet, and this is where I wish I had pulled these in a little bit closer to the V. It's one of those, it doesn't matter, but kind of a hindsight to be more like this, and then it would, kind of look like an 8, I suppose. Oh, it'd be like you want a V8. Oh my gosh, that's just really funny. And it just all depends on what, what direction that you take it. And honestly, it's the Zentangle way to just not worry about it and see what happens, right? Okay, so super fun. And then if you do it in a bigger grid, you're going to have where, well, how I can't get it to line up right, but, or, like this. So you'll get a little of both if you do it in a bigger grid. Okay. Super fun. Thank you so much for watching. I said all of the stuff that I usually like to say, so that way we can connect and have happy tangling together, right? All right. So with that, thank you again so much for watching. And yes, have some happy tangling.